Okay, I think we are live. It's a little bit disorienting doing this for the first time because there's a bit of a delay, so I can't really see if this is going out properly, and I also don't know if the music, the GODFORGE music, is like too loud, too low. We can discuss that when people jump in. Anyway, so what I want to do today is just do a drawing of Tian Long, because I was really inspired by the bit of video that I shared in my video yesterday of the animation of Tian Long. I think it looks really good, and I have been wanting to draw Tian Long before that as well, before I saw that video. So I've got some reference set up in Photoshop, and I'm going to try to draw him in the same style as my Quetzalcoatl. Try and make them... Oh, okay, music's too loud. Let's see. It's weird because I can't hear it myself. Oh, the music is... Let's take it down to half. Is that any better? Okay, I've taken music down to half. We'll see if that is any better. Let's see. So yeah, what I was saying, I want to try and draw Tian Long in pretty much the same style as my Quetzalcoatl, and maybe have them both on my YouTube banner, kind of each on one side of my name, so I have like two different characters from GODFORGE in there. I think this one's going to be a little bit trickier. If we look at, for example, like this reference, I haven't noticed before, it's got like really funny little legs. Okay, a bit low now. This is definitely a learning experience. I've never streamed before, and it was something that I was quite scared to do for a long time. Like, I kept saying I'm not going to stream. I feel like I like to be able to edit myself in case I just like trail off or forget what I'm talking about. But so many people have asked me, like whenever I've done interviews with people, everyone always asks like, oh, are you going to do streaming soon? And I always say no plans on streaming, but I don't know if I'm going to stream during the GODFORGE beta, but I wanted to just try and get it set up and see if it works. So that if I do... Oh, let's shift the GoPro a little bit. Yeah, I just wanted to try it out in case I decide I want to stream, so I'm not streaming for the very first time, like while also playing GODFORGE and while everything is really hectic. But yeah, I hadn't noticed before that Tian Long kind of have these like tiny little legs and quite like a funny S-shaped body. Obviously I've seen his body before, just not noticed the legs. So we'll try and kind of get this shape in first. Let's just get started. Oh, that's the wrong colour. Let's see what this is. What seems to always be the case for me when I draw like this from reference is that I always make it too detailed at first, because it's really difficult to kind of, when you're looking at something that is in like a very distinct style and has a lot of details, it's very easy to just add in every detail that you can. So I'm gonna do like one pass of this that's probably gonna be more detailed than I want it to be, and then afterwards I will try and simplify it down a little bit. And I've also got, if you look at this reference here, I'm going to try and stick to this kind of body shape because I think it's quite fun. But then I think it's going to be hard to draw his face front on like this. So I'm probably going to use one of these two up here for the reference for the face, a little bit more from a side angle. Haven't decided yet if I want to do this kind of open mouth, or I think this kind of shape for the face would be good to make him look a lot more cute. So if we follow that kind of angle and face, but then add in like a little bit of a cheeky smile to it. But let's try and get some kind of body shape down first. This is also one thing that I'm very aware of with like live streaming, is that it's actually so much slower to draw than I think it seems in my other videos where I speed it up. So he's got quite like a small face, but then like a big kind of beard around it. So we want to try and get that in. The head comes more from the side. Oh, I just realized that I need to share the link to this in like the GODFORGE Discord to hope that people join in. Hang on. Oh, we got one more person in here. That's very nice. Sorry, I'm a bit quiet right now. I'm just trying to post a link in the main GODFORGE Discord to hopefully get some people to join in. Alright, okay. So for whoever is new, whoever just came in, I'm just trying to get the shape down. I was just saying, I'm very aware that like sketching up, especially the initial stages, is so much more slower than like I think it seems in my general videos where I speed things up, and I tend to often just cut off a long bit from the start where I'm just drawing something, deleting it, drawing it, and it's just like repetition of trying to get things down. So I think this is not quite right. So it really needs to feel like he's floating. So we got these sexy little chicken legs here. So one leg, and then maybe I'll try to do it so that he's like kind of kicking his legs out a little bit more. I am also like the messiest sketcher. Like I know people who like, if you look in their sketchbooks, it looks like really nice just straight off from the start. But like, let me get something out. I'm trying to find you something to show you from my sketchbook of like what my sketching process looks like. Yeah, anytime I sketch anything, I don't know, where's the camera? It's literally like I draw one thing on top of each other until it's like absolute chaos. Oh, it's not in the camera. So that's probably what it's going to look like here for a little bit until we narrow things down. So I think maybe he should feel a little bit more floaty, so a little bit more like, oh, morning. And really get his tail in, make it a little bit more of a curve than it is in the actual image. I think it is going to be hello Heavy Metal Zero, glad that you can join us. I was just about to say, I think it's gonna be a little bit of a struggle for me to keep up conversation. It's not something I'm very used to doing, and when I film my videos at the moment, I literally trail off so often and I have to do so many retakes, which is why currently my videos has like a lot of like cuts and edits in them, and I kind of jump around a lot, which is something that I'm trying to get better at, but it's still somewhat a struggle for me. I'm gonna do this thing that I like to do, which is just to make it really small and then make my brush fatter to just kind of oh, how many layers do we have here? Just to force myself to simplify and make it a bit less detailed. So we want the face, maybe we want the face to be a little bit bigger. So kind of a cute face. We have the big shape of his kind of beard. Sexy little chicken legs. I need to stop calling these legs sexy, but you know, I'm just rambling here at this point. And then we get rid of the layer behind and make this a bit bigger. I like to try and get the face in very early on, so I think I'm gonna stick with this kind of shape for the face. Some kind of, let's just, oh shit. I do need to name my layers, otherwise it's going to be stressful and messy while we work on this. Okay. I really like this kind of like jaggedy teeth that he has going on here. Obviously it's not going to look like this in the end, but let's try and get these in. Oh, we have a couple of people watching now. I was really worried, partly because I'm going on quite early when a lot of people in America aren't awake yet. But I just really didn't want to leave it to the afternoon because I actually have quite a lot of things to do today later. I've talked a lot in my kind of Pantheon chat about how it's really bad timing for me, because when the GODFORGE beta launches, I have friends from Australia staying with me, which was planned way before we knew about the beta, and they're going to be here for a full week. And this room that I'm in is like, it's a spare bedroom that I've got my desk and office in, so this room is going to be occupied by Australians all of next week when the beta launches. And this is kind of the only place where I can close my door and have privacy while I film things. So I'm either gonna have to like kindly ask them to vacate the room so that I can film my content in here, or I'm gonna have to just put all my stuff in the living room. And then with the possibility that they or my boyfriend or anyone else will just be walking in and out, going to the kitchen and stuff. So I either need to be completely fine with people being present while I film things, or I need to kind of chuck my house kids out of the room so that I can sit in here and play GODFORGE. Okay, I'm not really focusing on what I'm doing here. I think we need to rethink this. Go back up here. So kind of like this. I've made my quest really friendly looking, but maybe we should make this guy really unfriendly looking. So his nostrils are quite high up, so kind of like that. Maybe more like that. And then he's got quite like a triangular face. If anyone has any questions about anything at all, do feel free to drop them in the chat just to help me with my going monologue. Like any questions about art, gaming, kind of what I've played before. I feel like I do want him to look like kind of smiley, even if also showing the kind of evil teeth. Okay. Now we probably want to get rid of this line. So I think one of the biggest difficulty of this is going to be to try and simplify his like big crown and make it look like recognizable while still being kind of in a simpler style. So let's get try and get his beard in. So the beard kind of starts from here. And then it goes up. Up and out. This would be the center line, so everything kind of coming out from this area. And then like that, and then let's pop this on the body. I'm not really worrying about kind of it all matching and looking coherent at the moment. That's kind of the next step. Just trying to get like elements down. Should he be looking up? I think he should be looking down a little bit, like that. Dragon God, yeah. Does he? Yeah, he does. I was just about to ask, does he have arms? Of course he has arms. He's like juggling his little ball. So kind of claw like that, and then maybe he should. They probably should have his ball over here. Let's just match these. Okay, I think we need to give a bit more space for his arms, so his arms are not overlapping with his body. So move this down. So orb to go here. Okay, we're getting the basics down. It's still not It's not looking quite how I like it, but let's try and do something with his crown. So maybe we drop this down. Okay. So his headpiece goes Resagian. What does that mean? Oh, is that the crown? So kind of triangular, and then from the triangle we have a circle, and then from the circle we have horns and a little bit of a alright. And then he has the side pieces here that goes kind of into a swoop, and then down, up, and then down again. And they are not really connected, the side pieces and the main piece. So kind of like that. We'll probably make this a bit smaller. Okay, we can make this smaller again. I think I do want to try and get a little bit more of like a fluid kind of shape in his body. So I think I'm going to just try and slightly simplify like the main elements, like the arms. Oh my god, that looks terrible. Let's have a look at his little claws. More of like a arm, claw here, claw, probably need to make these not, I know they're quite sharp and like claw-like, but gonna need to make them a bit cuter. Something like that for his hand. No, that's not the same angle we had it on. I think that's a more fun angle though than the other claw. Something like that. Okay, we're gonna move these up later. But for now, we'll leave the arms a bit lower down. I think we need to have a bit more distance between the arms and the face. So let me just remind myself. The quest is still a lot simpler than this one, so I do want to try and get the sense that they like exist in the same universe. So it does need to be simpler. Oh yeah, he has some horns as well. Let me think. Eyes should be a bit bigger to match with the Quetzalcoatl. Maybe like that. Oh shit, my eraser is way too big and way too blurry. Maybe a little bit smaller still. Oh, that's nice. Okay. Oh, okay. Feel like we're getting somewhere now. Feel like the face is kind of there, although maybe needs to have like a bit more of like a brow feeling on that side, and this can come in that way. Does anyone watching have a particular hero that you think is like the coolest or nicest looking hero in GODFORGE? Do let me know. I'm really like, I enjoy hearing like what resonates with different people, because like I've said this, but for me it's like always the creatures. There are some human characters I really like as well. Like I do want to do a video about Hel and Freya at some point. Especially Hel, I think is really cool. And I quite like the balance between those two of like the dark and the light. And I feel like it could be a lot of fun to like play with their personalities and kind of like really try and the difference of what like the kind of like sly looking Hel and like the really regal Freya, and to kind of bring their personalities into some kind of drawing where they're maybe facing off, or you know, sorry, this is the problem. I keep, when I'm filming, I keep just trailing off. I keep like starting a thought and then just going like I don't know. This is something that I really do need to work on, but that's part of why we're doing this, and I am very happy that I've got a few people here watching, letting me try these out, try this streaming, try the whole streaming thing out. So that arm will go up here. Okay, that's nice. Nice to have the arm slightly behind the ball so we get a bit of like overlap. I'm actually surprised by how quickly this has slightly come together. Sometimes I can go for like an hour and just like testing, deleting, not really getting past like... Oh, Morgan Le Fay, yeah, I think she's really nice as well. I do have Morgan Le Fay on one of my accounts. So I have two minigame accounts. One of them has Fujin, and the other one has Morgana or Morgan. I keep calling her Morgana because I used to be a really big fan of the TV show Merlin, and in that one she's called Morgana. Obviously there's a variation kind of whether in media whether they name her Morgan Le Fay or Morgana Le Fay. I think there might be some other variations as well. But yeah, I haven't seen much of Fenrir, and I haven't seen him talked about much either, so I'm excited to see him in the game and see what they've done with him. Okay. Chicken legs. Yeah, I kind of, on the mini game, I didn't listen very much to people who were being reasonable and talking about which heroes were actually good. I actually pulled a Heimdall, but I discarded him because he's just not like, he's a really cool looking hero, but he doesn't really speak to me. I find he's very like, you know, his face is kind of hidden, he's very regal, like there's not much like he looks really cool, like I'm not by any means saying he doesn't look sick, because he does, but there's not a lot of personality I think coming through in him, and I find it hard to like feel excited or connect with Heimdall. Like I know he's one of the best, and when I got him in the mini game I did lock him in because I was like, I know this is the right choice, but then when I saw other heroes come up that I thought were like more visually interesting, there was just no way, like, you know, I make too many decisions in these games with my heart, and I am very impulsive. I think for me, especially in the beginning of playing a game, I'm impulsive. The more I get into a game and I learn, I start to play a smarter game, and I start to like consider what will actually kind of benefit my account and give me the best progress. But at the very early stages of playing an account, I just want to have fun, and I just want to like pick heroes that resonate with me, because if it doesn't, like, you can grind in the late game, but if I'm not having fun in the early game, I'm not going to get to the late game. Okay, let me read this comment here. I like mythical creatures, especially Chinese mythology. Azure Dragon of the East, Vermilion Bird of South, White Tiger. Yeah, I really hope they add more. Like, I feel like the creatures resonates with a lot of people, and it's one thing I think that GODFORGE is doing really well, because there are some like more animal kind of quadrupedal characters in Raid, but at least like the ones I can think of right now, they all have like a very, it really is like either it's kind of like a standing human body, or it's like kind of like a four-legged that feels very dog-like. Even like the dragons and stuff, the dragon-inspired characters like Tatura, if you can even kind of call him a dragon, they're all very just like quadrupedal and very kind of dog-shaped. So I really like in GODFORGE how when they have done creatures, they have really given them like unique shapes and unique ways to animate them. I think it adds a lot of depth, and it makes it easier to like be excited for those characters as well. Sorry, when I've been talking, I've not really been focusing on this leg. I've just been redrawing and drawing and not actually doing what I need to be doing. I want this leg to kind of kick out a little bit. Something like that. And then maybe this leg should kick back a little bit so it looks like he's like kind of mid skip. And then to give a bit more motion, maybe this should be a bit floppy. Let me have a look. It should be more like a bend, like that. And then let's add a bit of flop to this one as well. That's maybe a bit too frog-like. Yeah, I would love to do in time a drawing of like every creature in GODFORGE. I've done Quetzalcoatl, I've done Shishi, and I'm doing Tian Long now, just because I really liked the new animation we saw of him in the footage that GODFORGE shared from the beta. But I would love to do Ryujin as well, although Ryujin is quite similar to Tian Long, like kind of in the shape, so it's probably not one I'm going to do super soon, just to keep it a little bit varied. I don't really know where this tail should go. I want to... It goes down a bit more in the original, but I kind of want to... Has the music stopped? Oh, I think I didn't make the playlist repeat. Oh yeah, I didn't realize that you could see my music window. This is like the first time I'm ever using Apple, well, like the Mac Music app. Like I haven't used it since it was called iTunes, but because I downloaded the GODFORGE soundtrack, it seemed easier to just chuck it in there than to kind of work out how to play it otherwise. Okay, I think the legs are too big now. The legs need to be tiny. Don't really need to be starting adding this detail yet, but just thinking about the patterns in his body, just to give it a bit of shape. And then he's kind of got some kind of like little almost cobra-like neck thing, which goes down to behind his arms, so kind of goes below the arms as well, something like that. It's quite funny, drawing this on stream is making me so much more effective than I ever am. Like if I was trying to draw this just on my own, I would be like going on YouTube, I'd be watching stuff, I'd be looking at my phone, I'd be playing games. I probably wouldn't have gone to this stage of drawing for like an hour. Maybe that's why it feels like I've made fast progress on this, because I'm actually focusing on what I'm doing, which is something that's getting harder and harder to do. Like my attention span and my focus has just gone like straight down the gutter, straight in the bin. Try and get the feet in a little bit, kind of like does have claws on his toes, so let's get like one claw in there, maybe more from that. Does he have kind of feathers on? I feel like I had another reference that I haven't put in that was of him from behind. Okay. This is obviously not the angle we're drawing him from, but it kind of helps me understand where his kind of feathers and things are going. We don't really need this picture, so let's chuck this in here instead. So his feathers go kind of all the way down the back, which means that even though we're not seeing it in this picture, we can kind of add a little bit of feather showing through here, and then it should kind of be coming up along his body. So the feathers should be coming in, so maybe it goes here. I don't know if you can at all see what I'm doing right now, because I realize it's quite messy. I will tidy this up to make it a little bit clearer again in a minute. Let's just try and do something about his beard. I think maybe we need to move the ball down. Ball down to there, so that we can okay, I'm not gonna mess this up. I'm gonna do a separate layer to find his center point. Then back on this layer. I think I'm gonna try and make his beard, like, his beard is quite big, but I'm gonna make it smaller in the drawing just to kind of let the focus be a little bit more on his face. And then from the center point here, do we have a bit more? We should really start like, oh, that's the wrong layer. Okay, I think we need, that looks, oh my god, can this thing go away? I hate this. I've accidentally made him look like one of these, like, you know, the trolls with the hair. This is what he looks like currently. Oh, that is absolutely massive. I think I need to kind of try and find a good shape for his hair so he doesn't look like one of these trolls. Let's get rid of that. So I think we need to kind of find a shape for his hair, even if that's not exactly what it looks like. I do also want the hair to be a bit smaller, and then we need to make sure it's coming in from the sides, so a few different shapes here. Oh, there's a few more people in here. Rub his belly and make a wish. The troll or Tian Long? A Super Saiyan, what is that? Oh, okay, from Dragon Ball. I've not seen that. I've actually, for an animator, I've watched surprisingly few animes. When I met my current partner and he found out I was an animator, he was very much like, oh wow, have you seen this anime? Have you seen that anime? And I was like, I've actually barely seen any. It's just something I never really got into, but we have watched a few since. He has tried to make his mission to make sure that I watch some anime so that I'm not a disgrace to the animation profession. We watched Death Note, which I really enjoyed, and we tried to start watching Full Metal Alchemist, which is one of his favorites, but I did like it, but I did think I was too busy or not in the right mind space. I never really got into that properly. And then we've also been watching Spy X Family. Although we're waiting for the new season to be out on Netflix. Okay, I think maybe I'm worrying a bit too much about his hair, because we also am gonna cover this with the crown, so let's just keep it like that, because some of it, I'm gonna need to reshape it to fit with the crown anyway. So where has my... Oh shit, okay, I have not been smart. I'm gonna need to try and copy the crown very quickly without him in it. That's annoying. Let's do a darker red. Okay, so we want to try and really... Oh, we need to simplify his crown so much. Okay. That's a start, and then kind of like a circle. Two little, not gonna put too much detail into these, but two little spikes there, and then actually I'm being stupid about this. Let's stitch one side. I'm like, I don't want to say that I'm old-fashioned when it comes to art, but there's so many like new tips and tricks on how to do things that I'm just like terrible at picking up. Like there's like symmetry in here, which you know, I can draw something and it's like symmetrical, and I should be doing this for using his crown. It would make the whole process so much easier, but I'm just really bad at kind of learning new things. I'm bad at keeping up with the young kids. Okay, let's try and be smart. I'm gonna do this, what I've just done again. So we have this kind of shape, the crown, one bit that sticks up here, some little spikes, and then it goes out, one little spike and a horn. Let's keep it that simple. And then this bit that goes on his forehead. I think I want to make it a bit more angular. I kind of like to draw things like a bit sharp and like pointy, and maybe add some shape to this bit. It should be like a little round thing here, like a little spiky thing, and then another little spike. Again, probably simplify this down even more. And then the side bits, kind of like this, and There's a swirl. Comes into this part of the swirl. Sorry, I feel like an insane person just narrating what I'm doing. And then it kind of goes into point, and it has some kind of little... Okay. Just looking at this as well. This bit on... Oh, where's my symmetry? Okay, no, that's fine. I don't need any more symmetry. I can put the sketch back in. So we can ditch all the old layers now. And then try and shape this to his head. So start by creating a bit more foreclosure. What's it called? The shortening on the other side. And then, which one is it? Skew? That actually, it's not looking bad. These, I realized I made too big. It should be, okay, so this goes, where does this go? Kind of around his face, and this one should be shorter than this one. I think we should also skew this one up. Beep 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 beep. Okay. Skew. Oh, I just realized I've been working with with our guy behind my icon. It's like my stream is like about 10 seconds delayed, so if I'm doing something, I'm not actively looking at the stream the whole time, so I don't really know what it looks like. But if I do notice something being a bit off, it is about 10 seconds late. I think we need to make sure this really follows this label like that. Then on this side it should just be... Oh shit, I still have symmetry on. Well, I've been making like an extra little bit of... Okay, I'm realizing I keep putting our little dragon behind me because... So, oh, no, sorry, ignore that. I'm gonna move my cam up, or maybe down to the corner. You don't need to see my reference, do you? No, I'm gonna keep it on this side. So I'm gonna move myself up because I do tend to pull it in kind of to the bottom, just so you don't miss anything that I'm doing. Okay, so this should be... Oh, I just realized I've done this wrong. This whole crown bit comes out from the center point, so the crown comes out from here. I did think things were looking a little bit odd. Yes, when you pull in the streaming window into the window you're recording, it goes a bit crazy. make sure it feels like this side is in front of the other side. So this should kind of go in front. Maybe pull this in, and then this can kind of go behind it. I think we need to make all of this like way thicker, just so that it is really like clearly visible if shown small. Oh shit, I've deleted his... Oh my god, why is the symmetry on? What is going on? Ah, symmetry off. Okay. I think this can have... Maybe we ditch this low circle and just make it spiky. And it's not all about being accurate, it is just about it being cute. I keep drawing this bit and it keeps disappearing. I'm not sure where it's going. Maybe we just make it like this. And then up, and then down, and then up. Do you feel like we need to make this bit feel swirlier? So maybe like that. It's not quite accurate, but it kind of keeps some of like the really like swirly feel without divulging into like all of the details. Same with these ones here, maybe they should like... Okay, let me think. Maybe one little bit that kind of points down and one little bit that points up. And these needs to feel a bit more like swirly. Okay, we can ditch this now. Oh, hello Rod. Well, I'm glad you could drop in for a little bit. It's quite incoherent here anyway. I'm not super good at keeping up chat. I'm just drawing. I'll see if I can edit this into... I mean, the stream modus will go up afterwards. And you can like... Or anyone who wants to see a little bit of the process can just like jump through and see different bits. But I might also see if I can edit it into like a bit of a highlight read and speed things up. This takes... Like I've had people comment on my videos saying like, oh, I wish you wouldn't speed through things quite so much and just like show the actual process. But like I don't know if people realize how much I speed things up. Like, and part of the reason why I haven't been putting out videos like that frequently, like when I've been making my art videos, is that like often the drawing is like 5 hours of footage, like 5-6 hours of footage. and then I can't always sit down and do 6 hours in one go. So like I will kind of do the drawing in batches over like 2-3 days, sometimes with breaks in between. And then it's also the task of like going through and picking out what to put in the video out of like 6 hours of footage. And like the actual editing doesn't actually take that long, but I keep kind of like dreading the task of like looking through all the footage and picking. So I have had a bad habit of like putting it off and not doing it as quickly as I possibly should. Oh, there's even more swirls. Okay, hang on. This should actually go down a little bit. It should be more of a kind of diamond shape. And then there's like another little swirl down here. So this should be like this. Okay, we're gonna have to redo this all. I'm also aware that I'm streaming on a Sunday, which is like known to be like kind of the worst day to put stuff out on YouTube, because many people spend time with their families or with their friends. But yeah, I've had a few people watching steadily through the whole stream, which I'm very, very happy with. I'm very happy that you've joined me. I thought I might do this completely by myself, but this is just, I'm just doing this for a bit of practice, mostly to know like the tech side of streaming, like setting it up, getting music in. I haven't planned on streaming for the beta, but I want to know that I can do it if I want to. It's looking a bit wonky. I think it should have, maybe, I think it should be smaller, and I think, why is this looking green? Why is my screen looking green? Also, this is, I've like skewed the I've skewed the canvas. Everything is wonky and my screen looks green. I don't know what I've done. Oh, skewing it again. Okay. Yeah, thank you, Rod. I am trying to perform a little bit, because part of it is practice as well. Like, I do need to practice. I want to be able to stream comfortably, like, maybe not so much for beta, but when we go into the game in general. Like, it's all been kind of a practice run in terms of YouTube and making videos. So I think okay, so I think we do need to try and get his like little dingle dangles in here, maybe just a couple, and then we do need to try and get his little, whatever this is. I don't like that. Okay, crown is kind of there, so now that we have the crown, we can kind of try and make the hair look. We can delete the hair that's like directly under the crown so that we can see. Oh, let's not delete his eyebrow. And maybe a bit of hair sticking out, and we need to make sure the hair goes like all the way around. It should really be coming out this side, and then kind of like that. Oh, you're the person who commented about Neopets on the podcast. Yeah, this does kind of look... Oh my god, have I accidentally drawn a Drake? A Drake from Neopets? Because they are also... I haven't thought about this at all. They are also kind of inspired by Chinese dragons. So this is one of the dragons on Neopets. Oh, I have done... Without even thinking, I have done like the little legs of this. It's a little bit similar. Hasn't got the big ears and hasn't got the wings. It doesn't have wings, right? I haven't forgotten about any wings. No, it's kind of got a bit of long flowy hair on its side, but no wings. Okay. Yeah, it definitely is starting to look like a Neopet, but that is that's just like the style of art that I've always really loved to do. Let me think. We also need to add... I'm gonna do like a full pass of kind of lines soon, so that just like we clean everything up. But we need to add in... I remembered when I saw the Neopet dragon that we need to add in his crazy whiskers, and they are... Like, you can really do anything with these. To add, like, I could go crazy with this to add a bit of motion wherever I want. I think maybe up. That's got quite a nice flow to it. Let's try and replicate it a little bit on the other side. Where did they come from? Kind of the side here. Oh, okay, it does look quite good if you go down a little bit, so maybe we should try and do that on the other side instead. Yeah, maybe we should go behind his... Yeah, that's quite good. And then we have some overlap with the hand. It's quite nice, like when drawing, to think about like kind of like a balance of like not all the elements feeling all like clumped on top of each other. Like we do need to give some space, but also to have some overlap of things, so it doesn't feel like they're like essentially in a T-pose. It feels a bit more dynamic if we have like the whisker going behind his hand and like, you know, the tail going behind his body, all of that. But you don't want it, for example, like I didn't want to... Initially I had his arms kind of overlapping with this part of his body, and that didn't look good because it was just too much kind of visual clutter in one area. But to have some overlap of things does help make it feel like the object like exists in space, and there's some kind of foreshortening and like balance between the elements. If everything is very like, you know, if we have his hand here, and then we have his whisker here, and then his head here, and his leg here, it feels very like T-pose and not very visually engaging. Yeah, I kind of want to go a little bit crazy with this. Woo. Swoop. Okay, so he also has like a little, some kind of little star thing on his butt, like a little tramp stamp jewelry. Let's see if we can, yeah, okay, so it's like kind of like a swirl, and then a little bit of like a swoop, 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 sweep, swoop. Okay, I'm trying to think if there's any other element. Oh yeah, we have his spikes on his head. Oh, okay, I just realized the spike comes through here, so we need to give like more space here. Yeah, and these should kind of feel more contained like that, and then the next one should come in there. I'm like I'm playing this other game called Clash of Critters, which I'll show you what it looks like. It's like really cutesy animals as well, and it's in early access as well. It's really fun. You basically collect these like little animals, and you like battle with them, and there's also like team activities where you make a team of 4 and you like compete against other teams of 4s. Like you'll kind of team up in a fishing competition or a snowboarding competition. But there's been a card trading event in this game that ends today, and you get like lots of rewards if you manage to get every card, and I have every card except for 1. And there's so many people who also have every card except for 1, so people are like frantically trying to trade cards. And some of my friends in this game have like been messaging me trying to help me get the last card. So I do kind of need to keep up with this a little bit. I'm not going to stream for too long because I need to go and try and do some like frantic card trading at some point. Sorry, I'm just checking my... Oh my god, I've got so many messages in this game. Let me see. Apologies for the interruption there. Just trying to see if anyone in this game has been able to find a card for me to trade. Okay, what were we doing? Spikes. Icy spikes. So let's add another layer. We have a spike on his head. That's kind of coming out of here, going all the way up to there, and then we have a little... I'm trying to see where these spikes come from. They just kind of come out of his hair. There's 3 spikes on each side. One spike there. Just make them really simple. One spike there. One spike there. One spike there. And then spike. This one can kind of be hidden behind his hair. Spike, spike, spike. Okay. Because of that, I think we need to... So I'm going to stream until we finish the sketch of this today. I'm not going to clean it up because that takes hours, and also I actually really like to do cleanup on my iPad because I have some brushes on my iPad that I'm really attached to that I feel just really makes my work look smoother and nicer, and just okay, I don't know if this is actually what that looks like, but there's some kind of swirls going on here. Oh, one of his legs is way, well, one of his feet is way smaller than the other. Am I on the right layer? Oh god, stop. Stop, stop, stop. Oh my god, what is going on? Oh my god, what is going on? You know the thing where it's like you use the software every day without problem, and as soon as you're like on camera, you suddenly don't know how to use it. You don't even know how to select select something to move. Okay, this is looking quite chaotic. Let me, is these all the layers? Check this in here. So I'm gonna do one pass of kind of cleanup to get this to a kind of nice place, and then I think after that we're gonna leave it. Kind of don't really love the class. Maybe more like that. Let me just check something. What are you all doing this final weekend before the GODFORGE beta madness? Anything fun that anyone's doing? Oh my god, this looks so chaotic. Yeah, things like this I keep like adding too much detail. I keep doing it too intricate and it just doesn't look good in this style. So like this bit of like hair coming off his back, I think it just needs to be way simpler. Probably even just one solid piece like this, and then something like that, and then oh, it looks like shit. Probably just like that. Get some reference for the swirly swirls on the ball. Seems like no matter where I put my face in the frame, I keep putting Tian Long right under. What does Quetzalcoatl's nostril look like? Just dot nostrils. So let's try and keep it consistent. Ah, hello Anne. Anne and me are in the same pantheon. That's alright. I'm almost finished. I'm gonna draw this little God, my brain stopped working. I'm gonna draw this Tian Long until I've got like a sketch. I'm not gonna color it today because that takes too long, and also I like to color on my iPad where I think I have nicer brushes that make all my work look just way more sleek and nice. So we're just kind of gonna get to a point where this rough line work looks good, and then I'm gonna stop the stream, and then maybe I'll share the final art in like a short or something later. Maybe like the process of drawing it in Procreate on the iPad, or maybe I'll just share the final. We shall see. Still a little bit unsure about how to kind of polish some of these things. But yeah, I'm kind of just live streaming today just to work out how it works, like technically, like getting it set up, how to put music in, everything like that, because I've said this a few times already, but I don't know if I want to stream during the beta. It's not something I'm planning on, but I do want to know that I can do it, so this is just a little practice stream. And I took the opportunity to do something I've been wanting to do for a long time, which is draw the Tian Long. I was kind of deciding when I was doing the little the animation that is now kind of like my YouTube intro and stuff, I was deciding between Tian Long and Quetzalcoatl, but I felt like I had a bit more of like a connection to Quetzalcoatl because he was in the mini game, and I was like trying to get him in the mini game, and it's kind of like the I was just about to say the Pokemon. I've been chasing, but that's kind of how I think about these heroes. They're all my Pokemon that I want to collect. It's not looking the same on both sides. What am I doing wrong? Maybe just not following my sketch. But yeah, I picked Quetzalcoatl to be my kind of intro animation, just because I feel like both me and other people might have a bit more of a connection to Quetzalcoatl, because he's like a really popular pick, and a lot of people like connected with him through the mini game. But I always knew I wanted to do Tian Long as well, and this one's not going to be. I probably will not animate this, at least not anytime soon, because things are just too crazy with the beta and work, and I have lots of travel. Well, not loads, but I've got lots of kind of travel and other things planned, so I'm not going to animate this, but I'm hoping to put this in my YouTube header. So in the header I have Quetzalcoatl and then my name, but I thought it would be cute if it's Quetzalcoatl, name, Tian Long, and have the two dragons there to kind of like give some balance. I feel like I've completely lost the shape of this crown. I thought I'd gotten it quite good. Ugh. This one needs to be shorter. Oh my god, what am I doing? Snake, indeed, snake. Shenlong, I think there has been drawings of Shenlong shared previously. Like I think Shenlong is on Raven Pyros, but it's not on. Shenlong is not on the GODFORGE website. So I guess that means that like they have made the character, but he's not going to. And I think that maybe they've shared it in a video previously, but Shenlong is not going to be in the beta, so that's why it's not on the website. But they do look quite similar. Like, I think there's kind of like just like a screenshot from one of Simon's videos on Raven Pirates of what Shenlong looks like. But I'm excited to see kind of see them in game and see how they made them different. Yeah, like I mean, I'm assuming, I think it's quite fair to assume that they will have some kind of like duo powers. It would be kind of disappointing otherwise. Okay. Is this good? And then do the spikes from... Yeah, that's what I've assumed as well, and I think Simon said as well that they're holding some characters back as well to be characters to be released in events, so like kind of summoning banners, or if they do, I don't know if they're going to do fusions or what kind of style of events, whether it's just a case of having regular summoning banners and kind of themed event around the characters. I mean, if the game is launching in, well, Q4, end of the year, so between October to December, that's the end of the year, and after that it's not very long until Chinese New Year's, which is around February time. So if I'm gonna make a very early prediction about Tian Long and Shenlong, I'm gonna guess that there's gonna be an event for Chinese New Year's next year, and that's gonna be the release of Shenlong, which will also introduce a synergy between Shenlong and Tian Long. But that is just my extremely unwarranted guesses. Yeah, I mean, if anyone plays Watch Your Realms, they do kind of big events for Chinese New Year's, and it's usually like new characters and like cosmetics and like themed events. I can't really remember if Raid's ever done... I mean, I've been in and out of Raid. I sometimes stop playing for a couple of months, and I don't remember exactly when, so there's always been events in Raid that I kind of missed, and like I don't always have like a perfect idea what's going on in Raid, even though I've been playing it pretty obsessively on and off for the last 2 years. But I can't remember Raid ever making a big deal out of Chinese New Year or doing anything specific for it. I mean, they don't really have any Chinese characters in Raid. Or like, obviously there's a Shadowkin, but that's more Japanese inspired. Oh my god, it's looking like a troll again, but okay, I need the hair to be more flowy. It's way too spiky right now. It's giving those weird trolls. Those hairy trolls, for those who wasn't around when I shared that. Yeah, we need to have like way more flow in this hair. No, that should not be flowing that way. It should be flowing the other way. Oh. Getting a bit getting a bit close there, Tian Long. He has no sense of personal space. Did I say Shenlong? Did I say Tian Long? Yeah, adding in some swirls for his hair so that... Okay. It's looking quite messy, but that's just... There's so many different things here. Like, we have his crown, we have this blue spikes, we have the hair. It's not really gonna look like coherent into like color. So what have we got left to do? Oh yeah, we need to get rid of this. weather dragon, so I think wind was. Just googling. Tian Long translates to heavenly dragon. Just looking at Google overview. Yeah, Tian Long is a star in Chinese astrology and is the dragon of the heavens. Anyway, I'm not gonna get too deep. Oh yeah, the wiggly whiskers. I did forget about that for a long time, but try and do these. Oh my god, this kind of thing is like one of the hardest things to draw, like doing parallel lines and try and get them to line up nicely. Ugh. This will be so much easier. It's hard because I've gotten so attached to like drawing, especially like cleanup drawing on my iPad, because Procreate on the iPad, it has like brushes with a bit more like stabilizing. So it's like if you do a line and it's a bit like squiggly like this, it kind of stabilizes it out. It's like cheating a little bit, I guess, but like it really helps with making like this Quetzalcoatl here is drawn with those kind of brushes in Procreate, and it really helps with just making it look like a bit like almost vector like without doing vectors, because doing vectors is a pain in the ass and I hate it because it's like basically just moving like anchor points around and it feels very unintuitive to me. But with on the iPad they have these kind of new features where you can essentially draw with a pen, but it kind of stabilizes it really nicely. I think they do have those features in a few Adobe programs as well, but it just doesn't, I don't know, I think it doesn't work as well or feel as natural. Sorry, I haven't been reading. Oh, hello Hillary. It's nice that you could join us. I was kind of worried I wasn't going to catch any Americans just because I started at 12 o'clock my time, but I'm glad that you could jump in. I was saying at the very start of the stream, when I think there was just me and maybe one other person in here, that so many people have been asking if I'm planning to stream anytime soon, and I've said to everyone like, no, it's so scary, I don't want to do it. What if I say something stupid? What if I don't know what to say? So yeah, like I think so far, like you, Hillary, have asked me if I'm planning to stream. I think Ned asked me if I'm planning to stream. Simon asked me if I was planning to stream when I was on the Fateless podcast. And to every single person, I've just been like, it's too scary. But I decided to... I know I don't need to be scared. I don't know why I find it scary. Okay. Then this little like cobra thing here. Okay, the only thing I haven't done is his... Yeah, I'm streaming just to try out in case I want to do it during alpha. Not alpha. I missed the alphas. Not the alphas, the beta. Okay. And then we have his little butt medallion. Tramp stamp. Bling. Okay, I don't really know what this thing looks like. It's kind of a little bit more. We aren't that mean, don't think it was bad. But earlier, or... I don't think anyone is mean. Like, I think the reason why I'm nervous to stream is not anything to do with like anyone like reacting badly or being mean, or I also don't think like it doesn't bother me that much if not that many people are watching. I think it's more I was worried that it was gonna like this is actually going fine. When I film videos, it's actually like when I'm just like trying to speak to the camera, it's actually quite bad. Like I will stop and start and I will like have to repeat the same sentence like 5 times. I will be like, in today's video, like the amount of retakes I do is actually insane. Like if I showed you like my unedited footage, it's actually really, really cringy. And I think I was worried if I streamed that it would be the same, that I wouldn't be able to like complete the sentence without like having to retake or like catch myself. But I don't know, like this is fine. When I'm doing interviews, like I did an interview with Hillary recently when I was on the Fateless podcast, that's also fine. But for some reason when I turn on just the camera and just talk, it's like my brain like evaporates out of my head and I just don't know what to say. Thank you, Deep Mist. I'm just reading in comments now. Yeah, no, I agree. I really have not felt like there's any rivalry. It's been really, really fun. Everyone has been super nice, and I'm one of the things I'm most nervous about, not nervous, but I'm like a bit like, I think it's a little bit sad probably with the beta coming, is the like, you know, when I play Raid, I watch like hours of footage, like I watch hours and hours of YouTube, and I like really look forward to doing that for GODFORGE. But like with playing the beta, with having people visit, with filming, editing, like everything I'm gonna have to do, I feel like I'm not gonna have much time to watch the other creators, and that's something that I'm really sad about, because like I've always enjoyed watching YouTube, and like the more of it I do myself, the more time I have to watch other people. Like I've recently started watching YouTube on 2x speed, which I've never done before, just because like I want to watch videos for other people, but I just don't have the time. But hopefully like I'll be able to catch up like after the beta finishes and watch some of the footage that I've missed, or some of the YouTube videos from other people afterwards. Oh, hello Aragon. Oh, you make drawing lines look easy. When I try to draw, the mouse pointer flies off in all directions from the way I want it to go. I mean, I'm not using a mouse, I have like a drawing screen, like I'm using a pen. Okay, let's get the last arm in. Okay, I don't really like how the hand is right behind his whisker. Let's grab this. I think there can be some overlap. Oh, maybe there shouldn't be. No. Okay, move the hand away. We might need to twist the whisker up that way. No. Nah, put it back. Ah, it can be there. Oh, I'm struggling to keep up with the chat now. Yeah, it's hard to talk to yourself on stream. It's getting better than it was earlier. Yeah, in terms of like equipment for drawing, like I have several different things. I draw on my iPad, and I have like a big, like about this big, I don't know if you can see, but I've got a big Cintiq, like a 24-inch Cintiq on my desk that I draw on. But I also have like a, I think 13-inch Cintiq that is like literally from like 2015, like one of the old Cintiqs from 2015 that I use if I'm traveling or like if I'm going to work at someone else's house. And those ones, like I think I bought it for like £300 in like 2015, so it's like now I bet you can get one for less than like 100. So you can get an older Cintiq and like a smaller one that's more portable, and like obviously it's still a bit of money, but like I'm sure there's probably people who's like basically giving them away these days because those are so old. But mine is honestly still holding up, and I still use it for traveling despite it being over 10 years old. I mean, I've had it for 10 years, but it was also secondhand when I bought it, so probably even older. I'll try and make only thing I'm not super happy with is the kind of feathers. I don't want to go into too much detail here. Like, if we do like a little test here, we want it to match the Quetzalcoatl. The Quetzalcoatl is way simpler than the Tian Long right now. So like some things I would probably do might make his body a bit fatter so that they both feel a bit bolder. Well, not both, so that they both feel bold. So yeah, just increase the width of the body so that their bodies are about the same size. This should be more out this way. Oh, I'm hiding things again behind myself. I do think I need to just make the crown way simpler. Just get rid of the details. This side should be bigger. What do you like to draw, Aragon, if you draw things as well? Okay, I think... I'll get rid of this. I might add detail. I'm removing a lot of detail from the crown now because I want it to feel more like the Quetz artwork. I want them to match, but I might add detail back in again when I clean up if it feels necessary. Oh, I'd love to see some of your drawings. If you've ever dropped any in the GODFORGE Discord, let me know and I'll go and try and find some. Ah, hello Rachwood. You're late, I'm almost finished. I'm joking. So I've said I'm not going to clean this up, I'm not going to color it because that takes too long, and I like to do it on my iPad while I'm watching Married at First Sight Australia, which I'm almost finished with now, so finally getting some of my free time back. That's been an absolute terrible time sink recently. Oh, shit. Yo, whenever you like do a line and it like accidentally shoots off to the side like that, sometimes, oh my god. I keep doing this. I was just gonna say like, oh, sometimes when you get like a line that like glitches out like that, it makes the whole software crash. And I just realized that I haven't saved. I did this exact same thing when I was drawing Shishi and Guan Yu. Let me save this. New folder for Tian Long. Tian. Oh, hello Savarok. Yes, I guess you can call it chibi. It's very chibi-like. What were you recording, Rachwood? Can we get some spoilers? Ooh, a collab. That's very exciting. Sorry, that sounded way more sarcastic than I meant it to. That is very exciting, and I'm very excited to see it, whoever channel that is. I said I wasn't going to clean this up. I said I was just going to stream until the sketch is done. And the sketch is almost done now, but finally I actually have quite a few people on the stream. Like, people have been dropping in, so should I clean this up? Should we keep going? I might need to take a break and make another tea if I'm going to do any more. Stream forever. 8 hours. Is this a challenge to try and beat Adam? Thank you, Savrok. Well, I don't really like to do cleanup on my in Photoshop. It's much nicer to do. Oh, actually, there's a lot of things I haven't read in the chat. I'm gonna read in a second. But yeah, I want to clean this up on my iPad because it will look nicer. But I can. Should I draw something else? Yeah. Does anyone want? You know what? I need to make a TMP. So I'm going to pop out for 3 minutes, but drop your suggestions of a hero to draw, and then I'll do another one. I will be hopefully no more than 3 or 4 minutes. I have actually made, I thought that you could add an image with like a breaker, like a pause in YouTube, but if it turned out you can't, or I can work out how to do it. So I've just made this. She will be back, I will be back. Okay, I'm back. Let me read up on chat. Let's see. Aragon said Savrak said tired Aragon not long back from a walk with Jack Russell. Okay, Hilda's gotta go to bed. She's probably gone already, but goodbye if you're still here. Rachel definitely gonna watch this back. I mean, I might do like a edit. I might do like a sped up version of it and put out a shorter version as well. Stream forever, never stop. We need more M in our lives. Thank you, Savrak. I think I said thank you to that before. Okay. Ah, Aragon, you've done graphics for Rachel. That's really cool. I'll message you later and chat about what kind of work you do. I would love to see like any other artists or like creatives in the kind of GODFORGE community and what they do. M likes Beast, Kamatos. Love that. Fenrir. Sphinx, Fenrir, Ymer. I will not pronounce Ymer as Ymer like all the English people say. In Swedish it's Ymer. Chibi Ice Cube Ymir. So I was telling people I played this other game called Clash of Critters, and there's like an ice cube cat in that. What's it called again? Yeah, so in this other game that I've been playing, there's this little cat that's like an ice cube, which is really cute. Could do a Ymer. Now I just said Ymer. I get so like kind of affected by what other people say. Morgan Le Fay or Fenrir. Rajin. If I'm doing Rajin or Fujin, I will do Fujin because that's who I have on my minigame account. Actually, that might be quite good because if I do like a little cute version of Fujin, I can use that if I do like a little header. If I do like a Fujin highlight, if I do like a Fujin highlight video where I show like how I build him and stuff in the beta, which I haven't decided if I'm going to do that or not, but I think not many people have picked Fujin. Obviously people might pull Fujin, but it's not like a super desired hero from what I've seen, but I do have him and I will build him, so maybe I will do a little highlight of him. I have also for a long time been intending to draw Hel and Freya. We have a girl called Witchy in our pantheon who loves Hel, and I don't know if she's awake yet, but I would love if she woke up and found the stream and I'm drawing Hel. I think she'd be very excited by that. Rajin has lots of drums. Yeah, that sounds like a nightmare. I don't want to draw lots of drums. Okay. I'm gonna hide my previous references. I'm just gonna throw some heroes in here. Let's pop. Let's try and keep these like in the image. What I've done already. So I recently read up on Fujin and that he like his kind of lore is that he carries this bag of winds that he can release. And then Rajin is like the god of thunder? No. Yeah, thunder, and he like beats his drum to create thunder, and then Fujin just has a bag of wind that he just releases. Hang on, let me go back to the chat. What do you use to like draw your shibis, Savarok? Yeah, there's a lot going on with Hel. I kind of hang on, let me find Hel and pop her in as well. Heroes Avalon? No, where's Hel? Oh, Hell is... Oh my god, I'm so stupid. Hell is in Asgard, obviously. Oh, she's massive. One thing that I've been thinking about with Hell when I thought about drawing her is that I feel like the way, like her kind of body shape and general vibe, I feel like she would be really like, she would work really well if she was drawn kind of like Shigo from Kim Possible. She gives me like similar vibe in terms of like her kind of posing and body language. This very kind of like slightly like cat-like, but like very like sleek and cool villain look. Oh yeah, go have a smoke break, Aragon. Okay, I need to send a message to someone from my other game. Give me a second. Alright. Gog Magog. Ooh. I think the thing that might make me lean towards Hell is that despite the fact that I generally like to kind of highlight like female characters, I've so far only drawn animals and men, so I don't know if I really need to draw more men. I think it's a little bit unbalanced right now, just with the kind of selections that I've done, so I think maybe we'll do Hell. It's a good point, Anne. Like I said, I really like the idea of drawing her in the same kind of vibe as like Shigo from Kim Possible, which is why she's in here. What? Where did I put? Or did I delete Fujin? Sorry, I'm literally just faffing right now. Where's my... Okay, I think we're gonna put him back so he's a bit more highlighted. Let's think about what we can do with Hell. Whose that looks like Ben 10 art? It was Shigo from Kim Possible. Did I remove that? Yeah, Shigo from Kim Possible. I kind of thought about drawing, not the same style, like it still wouldn't look like this, but like her kind of vibe and personality in Kim Possible really is kind of how I picture Hell in terms of like her like characteristics and like body language and stuff. I do need some better pictures of Hell if I'm gonna do this. Okay, let's get her face in there as well. Okay, let's get rid of Fujin. He doesn't need to be here. Okay, let's think about her body type. I might have to look up. I'm googling really questionable things to try and find some posing reference for hell. I've just googled woman posing seductively standing. I will not be showing this on the stream. It's not that questionable. It's mostly women in underwear, but I just need like a bit of a pose reference. I don't want to make her pose exactly like in her art or her character art. None of these results are good anyway. Okay, I'll just wing it. Hi, Aragon. We're gonna try and do hell. She's extremely booby, isn't she? Well, not that extremely compared to some of these games, but she's very, like, her chest is very pushed up. Maybe I will try and do the pose a bit more like that. Yeah, and it's less about like her body's not that like crazily exaggerated, but her pose is very like okay, I'm gonna try and follow the pose of this like Shigo image. I feel like it's like feels a little bit more like that's a terrible hand. What there? What's going on? my god, these eyes. She looks like a bug. Oh my god, oh my god. Let's get rid of these eyes. What does her? Aragon, it's all like shortcuts. Like, I mean, the only tools I'm really using is brush and eraser at the moment, and like selection tool, and that's just B, E, and L in Photoshop. So that, oh my god, this is terrible. Okay, let's get this. Let's try and before we. Guess she's got this kind of hood. Okay, I think we'll. She's got this really big braid. Bit more boob, more boobage. Need to get rid of the braid until we know what we're doing with. I've only just noticed that she's got like skeleton hands on her boobs. How have I never noticed that before? That's really cool. Okay, so she's got this kind of. Need to move her crotch over a little bit. She's way too weirdly bent. No, actually she is twisting her body this way. How long have I been streaming for? It's 2 hours now. Okay, let me read some chat. Yeah, I mean, shortcuts do help a lot in terms of just like speed and flow of working. What software do you use? I don't know if I've ever drawn a character this Photoshop? PSP7? Is that Photoshop? Yeah, I mean, to be fair, like I use a newer version of Photoshop just because I have to pay for it for work, but there is like there's lots of new features and I don't use a single one of them. Like I just draw, like every single feature that I use in Photoshop would have still been in Photoshop from 2001. Like I used to have like old cracked versions and just save lots of money like that, but to be honest, or like the thing is when I work professionally, like with clients and stuff, because I use so many different Adobe softwares in my work, I use on a regular basis Photoshop, Illustrator, sometimes Flash, After Effects, and I use Premiere for editing videos, but I don't really use it for work. And I need to have the up-to-date version so that like if like a studio I work with send me a file. Like if it's made in a newer version of Adobe, then I can't open it if I don't have that same version of Adobe. It's gonna ditch this whole head, it's not good. So yeah, like for drawing specifically, like I could literally use the oldest version of Photoshop there is and it would not make a difference. But for work, I can't have an out of date version of Photoshop, which forces me to pay £50 a month for the software. I think I worked out recently, I paid £50 a month for Photoshop for like at least 6 or 7 years. So yeah, the amount of money that I've given to Adobe is actually disgusting. But it's also the only way I make more money is by using Adobe, so it's it just has to be done. Oh, Paint Shop Pro. Okay, not Photoshop. I've just gone on a whole spiel about using old Photoshops and that's not what you were talking about. Okay. I need a reference. I don't know if anyone has noticed from the previous drawings I've done, but I just love doing eyebrows like this. I think I've done it in every video. I think I did it on Hercules, on Apollo, and on Guan Yu, like the one really raised, the one really lowered eyebrow. Do want to have her head sideways. I think that just looks better in this kind of art style, kind of like the Shigo one. Oh, I didn't realize that you had help with the thumbnail. That's really nice. I do kind of enjoy making my own thumbnails, and I know my thumbnails are not the best or not the optimal way to thumbnail on YouTube, but I also really don't want to look too Mr. Beastified. Oh my god, this is so bad. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, Rachel, I think like the one thing I'm trying like with my thumbnails on my channel is like I want my channel to like have a calm and chill vibe. I don't want it to ever feel like my channel is screaming at you to click, because that's like, I think that doesn't fit the vibe of my videos anyway. Like I'm never gonna be the person who's like, oh hello, come on my, like, you know, do the whole super excited, super enthusiastic thing. That's just not my vibe. So I don't want like the thumbnails to have like a significantly different vibe to like the actual content on my channel. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I feel like when you look at like the YouTube homepage, there's like some colors that are used by so many different people, which is like the really kind of bright neon red, orange, yellow and green is like seen quite a lot. Oh, this is awful. What am I doing? It's so much like less intuitive for me to draw. I mean, I draw a lot of human characters like in my work and stuff, but I feel like you can definitely tell that this is not I'm also chatting way too much and focusing way too little. I think it needs to be more slanted. Okay, let's try and get her hood back in. Oh. Okay. That feels like it's balanced at least. Maybe this eyebrow should be way more. Maybe this is the eyebrow that should be raised and this is the eyebrow that should be down. No. Nope, back to what I was doing. This eyebrow should be raised. Okay, kind of like that. I should change so she's looking straight at us. Oh, hello, Hammer. For anyone who has joined recently, I spent the first 2 hours of the stream doing the line art of Tian Long to match with my Quetzalcoatl, hoping to put them both together in my header of my YouTube channel. But I was saying I don't really like to do cleanup in Photoshop, I prefer to do it on my iPad, so I don't want to finish off the Tian Long here. So now we're just drawing hell, we're just kind of freestyling now. I had no intention of doing more than one drawing, but I think I made a mistake of starting a bit too early. I started at 12 my time because I just wanted to get going. And then people kind of finally started to get a little busy in here just in time for me to finish up with my Tian Long drawing. So now we're drawing hell. So we have some hair here. I know we want the braid to not cover her cleavage. Can't be hiding that. I think I started saying before, I don't know if I finished my thought, but I don't think I've ever drawn a character this booby before. I kind of make a point to only draw very small-chested women because as a small-chested woman myself, I don't think we have I don't think there's enough representation. It's too much focus on boobs, which is something that I'm not providing to this world. Well, Rachel, I'm glad that you can fill in where I'm lacking. This is a big thing as well. I always make like the face too big, just like making it slightly smaller tends to make it look better. She doesn't really have any hair like coming in around her face, but I'm going to add some because I think that just... Oh, maybe this hood just needs to go way closer in. No, I'll do something real with that later. I also just love drawing characters that look really unwell, like really heavy bags under their eyes. I've been told many times in my life that everyone I draw looks absolutely miserable. Okay, so let's get on to... Oh, the half-rotted part! Oh my god, I forgot about that. Let's have a look. Yeah, this is something I always do. I keep, like, not really... Like, I know these things, but then when I'm drawing, I keep forgetting about details. Basically, for the half-rotted part, it is kind of hidden, that part. That will probably be easiest to do in color, because I'll just make it blue, and then I'll kind of make some, like, you know... Maybe we'll just give her like... It's really funny because normally there's always something that I miss. Like when I drew Quetzalcoatl, I forgot about his wings, and then like at the end I was like, ah shit, his wings. So I'm glad that, well, having you guys in the chat, I'm remembering these things slightly earlier than normal. Normally I would be basically finished and then I'll be like, wait, she's rotting. How can I forget about that? Okay, so she also has like the rotting half of her shoulder. Oh, she's got like a neck brace. Yeah, let's try and look at all these details now before I forget. So she's got some kind of like neck brace. Let's add this sleeve. This hand is her head too big? I think her head is too big. Her face is definitely still too big. I'm probably gonna redo the face completely. I feel like she's not sexy enough. I do tend to draw people quite like I don't know, like I don't really draw sexy characters. Like sexiness is just not like a trait that I care very much about. Like okay, I think we need to get like this kind of sense that she's really pushing her chest up, so a bit more like that, and then and now we have the vines. I haven't been looking very much at the camera. I'm realizing that I'm very often barely in frame. I know, Hammer, which she said she was very excited that I was going to stream, and I was aware that she might miss it because I started at 12 o'clock my time, so like just over 2.5 hours ago. I was hoping when I picked Hell that she would pop in and get this as a little surprise. Okay, let's try and... Everyone's favorite part, hands. I had a job once where I was assigned just hands. I just drew, I mean it was quite cartoony, but we were doing this animation at my old studio that was kind of like a personal project, like a passion project film. And it was animated in After Effects, so kind of puppet animation, similar to what I did to my quets. But that's like not generally my kind of strengths in terms of animation. I'm better at hand-drawn animation. So everyone was doing these like After Effects animations, but they wanted the hands to be hand-drawn to have more like kind of character in the hands. So all like my entire job on this film was adding hands to everyone else's drawings. Like they would animate everything, but the hands would just be 2 circles, and then they would send it to me and I would just draw over and add hands to everything. So I kind of, it's like the thing that everyone kind of hates, but I can't really claim that. I feel like I've had enough experience that I can't make excuses for drawing lazy hands. Oh my god, I can't rotate. Wait, I'm missing a finger. There's not enough finger. Oh my god, what the fuck have I done? Sitting here talking about how I'm a professional hand drawer, and I have missed a finger. Oh my god, what's going on? Oh my god, what's going on? Okay. I will almost definitely not be streaming in 4 hours. I have many other things that I need to do today, but thank you for watching, Hammer, and I will see you later. If I'm still streaming in 4 hours, then we've got a problem, because I need to tidy this room and clear this room out so that the Australians can sleep here from tomorrow onwards. So I can't tidy this room and prepare this room for guests if I'm sat here streaming all day. Okay. What's that called? The thing that kind of like was a thing a while back when people would just like stream themselves like living like from like a top-down camera in a room and just like cleaning and doing normal things and people would like pay to watch it, like a very PG version of like OnlyFans. I don't really know, but I feel like there was talk about that being a thing. I don't know how much it was actually a thing. That'll do for now. What the fuck am I gonna do with these feet? I'm googling questionable reference images again. Sorry, nudity warning. It's not quite nude, but I just need some file name, sexy blonde model catwalk. Okay, and the nudity is gone. Pretend that never happened. Alright, we're gonna ditch her entire legs. Okay. Yeah, I'm not against doing a little bit of cheating, because I'm gonna I just sometimes get the pose down. I'm gonna redraw it so much anyway that it's not gonna look anything like the reference when it's finished. I think I guess it's like a little bit taboo to trace things. I think more if you're like a student or you're learning, but it's like the speed I have to do things at my job sometimes, like you have to just do it really quickly, and it's just quicker sometimes to not sit and faff around with trying to do things like accurately, or like do things the correct way. Oh shit, I've already lost the shape of these legs. Okay, so let's try and get her. Oh my god, it's looking... I've got regrets about my decision for how I've posed her body. I've noticed I recently went through and looked at like all of the heroes. I went through and looked at all the women in GODFORGE's feet. Not for any weird reasons. Get your mind out of the gutter, Rachwood, if you're still here. I'm joking. But yeah, I was really curious because one of my big pet peeves, and I'm sure a lot of women's pet peeves in these games, is like the fact that like all the women are always wearing heels. Like in Raid, like they're all wearing heels. And it's like, I don't think it makes it that much sexier. Like I don't mind them like leaning into sex appeal, but like, is it really that sexy that every woman is wearing heels to battle? Like, it just narratively just doesn't work for me. I just think it's like, I don't know, I just don't want to look at women wearing heels. I don't know, like I feel like they could still make the characters really sexy. I just don't really like that everyone's wearing really unpractical shoes. And I did look through all of the women's shoes in GODFORGE, and there's only like one or two, or like a handful that wear like quite short but still fairly practical heels. There's none that wear like the really insane stiletto heels. If they need to wear heels to identify gender, they're not using the character design isn't good enough. That is just my opinion. But yeah, like also like the lizards aren't generally wearing heels. They just like have really feminine bodies and like very like boob shaped torsos, even though they're lizards. But what I was getting to with GODFORGE is I was quite pleased to see that there aren't as many like stiletto heels. There's like they're all wearing quite sensible clothing. But on the flip side instead, they're almost all wearing sandals. So it's like they're practical, they're a bit less like sexualized, I guess, which I do like. But on the flip side, I feel like all of the characters in GODFORGE should really be aware of like workplace safety, because I feel like it's not safe to wear open-toed shoes to battle. I feel like that's impractical on the other end of the spectrum. Less sexualized and more purely like a workplace hazard. Yeah, especially, yeah, that's... Is it this War Maiden? Is it War Maiden? Who's like completely naked and in the sand and also wearing heels. Yeah, she's wearing kind of like boots, so it's not the worst heels in Raid that War Maiden is wearing. I'm just looking, but it's like all the images I'm getting are like extremely pixelated. There are like boots with like a high platform heel, which I guess is slightly better in the sand, but it's still not what anyone would be wearing to the desert. Oh yeah, this one should have the big toe on the other side. But yeah, I do really like that there seems to be some effort in GODFORGE to make like the character feel a little bit like, there's still a lot of them are like very naked and very sexy, but they don't feel as like unnecessarily sexualized as they sometimes do in Raid, I think. Yeah, no judgment, Rachwood. Like everyone should wear what they want, but I do think it's like a little bit too universal in Raid how many female characters are wearing heels. Sorry, I feel like I've like mentally given up on this. I don't really know. Oh, this is looking terrible. I'm gonna do one more pass on this face. I think the eyes are a bit too big. Actually, I'm gonna duplicate this layer and save a copy, and then I'm gonna just go wild on this face. I think she needs to be like a little bit, like, my go-to is not to draw people looking sexy. My go-to is to draw like kind of so I think I need to try and make her a bit sexier. Maybe like some more proper lips. That's not sexy. This is where it becomes like extremely clear that I just don't understand sex appeal. Like, I just don't get it. I've never tried to be sexy in my life. Okay, I think that face is a little bit better than the last one. Hang on. "2026 eyebrows." What's that? Yeah, maybe the eyebrows are too crazy, but I just love it. Maybe like a sharper nose? Oh. And then kind of add the rotting. Oh, okay, yeah. Oh my god, his eyebrow is too crazy. And this eye is too big. Okay, that feels a lot better than the last face. Yeah, I was gonna say, maybe it's more popular, but like the drawn on eyebrows has definitely been around for a long time. Oh, I see what's wrong with the legs. The angle is wrong on these. Ah! Witch is finally here. We've been talking about you. So, to Witchy who's just joined, I started the stream and I drew this Tian Long. That was the aim of the stream. I told myself I was gonna do a sketch of Tian Long. I wasn't gonna clean it up, and then when Tian Long is finished, I was gonna end the stream. But a bunch of people came in just before I finished, so I've been convinced to keep going. And we had an open forum about who I should draw next, and I have been saying for a while, well, not to anyone in particular, just to myself, that I want to draw Hel, and I actually want to draw Freya as well, because I think I've been doing a bad job of representing the women in this game. I've drawn more men and creatures than I have women, which is not normally my style. Normally I try to highlight women above everything else, so we're rectifying my mistakes by drawing Hel today. I want Zeus to get... Oh, hello Rod, you're back. I want Zeus to get Guan Yu and Shishi tattooed on his chest. Does Zeus have any tattoos in this? I know some of the heroes have like some tattoos. Okay. I'm probably going to leave this quite soon. I'm getting quite hungry and a bit tired, but we'll try and get this sketch to like a fairly good place first. The legs are not the best. I feel like they need some work. Partly that's because I haven't been adding these details, just add some random ass details here. Sort that out later. Maybe need to have a bit more. Okay, reading chat. Oh yeah, Zeus would definitely have like a Jerry and Frecky tattoo. Okay. On the topic of just forgetting things that are like right in front of you, I completely forgot about all of this stuff. The whole like branch and her cloak. I'm gonna make the cloak a little bit flowier. I've actually Hugin and Moonin on his shoulders. I used to do tattoos for a while, and I actually tattooed a Hugin and Moonin tattoo on a guy he's not Scandinavian, but he's really into like mythology. And I tattooed two crows, one on each of his... Is it crow or raven? I tattooed two crows on each shoulder of this guy. So I have actually done a tattoo of Hugin and Moonin back in my days when I tried to be a tattoo artist. Okay, I'm gonna change the flow of her cape to kind of give a bit more of a framing. And then all of this stuff. Depends on what GODFORGE tattoo you get, Ragewood. I've got, well, I mean, I've got very cringe tattoos. I can't comment on anyone having cringe tattoos. I think if it was something from the game, it would be cool. If it was like a fat GODFORGE logo on like your whole arm, I'm not really a big fan of when people just get like logos tattoos. It feels a little bit like a, you know, a weird, intense sponsorship situation. But like, I don't know, like getting some kind of icon from the game, like I think would be pretty cool. Or, I mean, a character is quite intense, they're quite detailed. But you know, getting some like item from the game or some other like little nod that's like, might not be super obvious if you don't know, but if you know, you know kind of thing. I love those kind of tattoos. Ragewood, I think you should turn your content creator beta sign up link into a QR code and tattoo that on your arm, just in case you run into people who doesn't know about GODFORGE and you're just like, oh damn, if only there was a way to quickly let you sign up to this game. Thank you so much for watching, Deep Mist. Really glad that people have stuck around for a little bit. I think I saw someone once who, well, like I saw a video, obviously, like anything you see on the internet can be fake, but someone who had a QR code tattooed, and if you went to scan it, it went to the Rickroll. I thought that was pretty funny, but I'm also a millennial with terrible sense of humor, so it probably wasn't actually that funny. Okay. Why have I done this way? Oh, thank you, Rachel. You didn't have to do that to us. Yeah, I mean, it seems like everyone's falling off, and I'm getting quite tired. So, pretty much, you know, Hell is sketched up. Tian Long is sketched up in a rough state that I can take onto my iPad and clean up there. So maybe we should call it here, and I'll let everyone go and have some food, and I need to go have some food and drink something that isn't tea, because I'm terrible at drinking water and I haven't drunk a single drop of water all day today. But thank you everyone who has been watching. I honestly thought that I might stream to like 2 or 3 people, but I'm very glad that you've all been hanging out and we've had a good conversation going in the chat. Very, very good first streaming experience. I couldn't have hoped for any better. But yeah, thank you so much, and I'll see you another time.